What's going on, everybody? All right, so I'm gonna get straight to it. Let's make this part today using SolidWorks. So without having the part in front of me, I'd say give or take, moving it all the way to the end here, it would be about 6 inches or so. And you're probably wondering what this is. Well, it is a Humvee hood latch, the rubber part. These are the brass pieces that go in the center. You can get that from a hardware store or you can order it. So we're gonna make this today. You want to start with the front plane, and you're gonna go to sketch and click the line option. Actually, I went for a circle. And you're gonna go to the origin of that arrow and make the circle off of that. Click the green check mark. You're gonna give it a dimension. I gave it a dimension of 1. Excuse me. I gave it a dimension of 1. Next, what you're going to want to do is click the line option and then hover over the top. You'll see a line and go slightly at an angle. And do the same. Go to the bottom of the circle, hover, and then go at an angle. Now I'm going to smart dimension this. I'm going to give it a 1 inch diameter. Do the same for both. Click line again, and you're going to go straight across. So to make sure it is horizontal, I clicked horizontal, and it is. Green check mark, same thing for the bottom. And when you hover like that, you'll see the line, it's equal. If you don't do that, they will not be equal. And I'm gonna smart dimension these. So I got them at about, let's see, I'm doing some guesstimation math right now. Let's do, got them at 2.5. Remember I said it was 5.5. Green check mark, dimension them both. Now, what I'm gonna do is, instead of creating the other circle on the other side, I'm gonna create a line going down the middle of those lines I made. I'm gonna make it a construction line, as you can see. And what I'm gonna do is mirror the entities, as you can see what I selected. I'm selecting everything that I want to mirror off this line, green check mark, and as you can see, I now have a piece that is exactly like my other side on the left side. So I mirrored the left, now I have a right side. And you can't just extrude it just yet, you actually have to do some trimming. So that's what I found out when I was doing this. You'll see here that I got to do some trimming. You see the error message right there. So what I'm going to have to do is close this out, because there are some areas where I have to trim, because my part is not actually one piece. As you can see, it's 2 pieces because of the circle. So I'm going to click sketch. I'm going to go trim entities, trim that, and then green check mark. And then I can now go to features. Well, it says I'm over defined, so let's check it out. All right. Diagnose. And here is the problem. My circle goes over my angles. So easy fix. Click trim again and just trim those. So green check mark, trim entities, and just trim away. Make sure you zoom in, zoom out. keep trimming. And once you have trimmed everything, now everything is now in one piece. And actually trying to size it right here. So from circle to circle, it's 4.5. Now I got it at 6. That's a little too long. So I am going to fix that and adjust that in a few. Got about an inch thickness, and as you can see, here's my piece. Now granted, it is slightly longer, so I will adjust this, but here you see it. This is the hood latch. Now we have to create some circles in the actual circles. So click sketch, and I actually made the circles a little bit bigger, so I did 1.5 inches, and the center as well. So center from center is 2.5. So the thickness I have is 0.60 or 0.59. It rounded up to 0.60. So I didn't like that. I tried to do 1 inch and it threw it off. And I know why it threw it off, because when I trimmed it, I didn't trim it correctly. So with that being said, it's okay. Just make sure if you're doing this, you trim it correctly. So that's a mishap on my part. But as you can see, it's good here. So I went with 3/4. Looks fairly similar to the latch, would you say? All right. So go back in the sketch. I'm going to change this up 5.5, like we said earlier. And it's looking like it's taking some shape. So I'm going to click sketch again and click my circles right there. I will give it a dimension here in a few. Right now I'm trying to think in my head what I was going to give it. So right there. So if you just hover over that and go across, you can literally get the distance of circle to circle, or you'll see here in a few. Whereas right there, you can literally put the center of your circle right there, and it is centered on that circle that you created, and then you don't have to guesstimate. Right there, just hover it over. Now I'm going to give it some dimension. So I went with 1/2 inch, but it's a little too small. Reason being is because the brass fitting is got to fit in there with a. So the brass hose spacer has a hole in a hole. If that makes sense. So what I did was, while explaining that, I went to cut extrude and then extrude it through all. But I noticed, again, looking at the actual picture of the design, I'm going to change it to 3/4. Same with this one. Bam, there you go. Screen check mark. And check the blue in the right corner. And you're good to go. Just get your brass hole spacers in there, and I could be saying the wrong, brass hole spacer, but that's I couldn't think of the name for what it was, so I looked it up, and that's what came up. It came up with. Excuse me. See, the thickness is there, and this is just guesstimation now. So if I actually had a dial calipers and the actual part in my hand, I could get it more accurate. So make sure you save it. Good buddy of mine, Chief Johnson, says always save your work. Now I should have saved it earlier, but get kind of carried away when making things. So just make sure you save it in the beginning. All right. And I want to give it some color, right? When you drag the color over here, right, you're gonna bring it over, and then you're gonna click. You'll see in a sec, to the far right there, and now it's black, but it's a little too black, so you kind of can't see much details. But I'm trying to show y'all this is what it would look like rubber. So it actually doesn't look too bad on here. On my computer, it didn't look as good. So I'm gonna, probably give it that nice aluminum powder coat, or that candy apple red. Let's go with the candy apple red. Again, drag it over. Couple tries. Third time's a charm. There you go. Not too bad looking. This is for, like, let's say you broke the latch, right? And you're somewhere that you can't get the part. Well, what better, you got a dowel caliper with you and you got the part, make it. I mean, that's what we did with for glad hand seals for the LMTV trailers. That's one of the videos I wanted to use or make when I was in the field, but in the field we couldn't use our cell phones, so try to do the right thing, put it away, and then yeah. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll make another video of how to do the glad hand seal. That was a fun project. I actually sat down with one of my mechanics. He was giving me dimensions and stuff, and we just sat down and drew it. So as you can see here, I'm just angling it, showing y'all, like, hey, I mean, just find things that you can fix in your motor pool, or find things that may be beneficial, because advanced manufacturing, or additive, excuse me, because advanced would be with the CNC machining, but additive manufacturing is coming a long way, especially in the military. It's also been used before, but now it's being more highlighted, if you will. All right. So enough rambling here. All right, so as you can see, it's now completed. This is what it looks like. Granted, I had to do some resizing. Now, I will get the actual part in my hand and use some dowel calipers to get some actual measurements, but this is just taking something off the internet. Let's say you don't have the part in hand, and you can always just try to design it. It's like a dog bone finish. Well, this is as simple as literally Googling something, then designing it on SolidWorks or whichever CAD software you're using, and making it come to life. Now, when you actually have the part in your hand with a dowel caliper or some measuring tool, you can get exact measurements. So this is something quick. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. All right, y'all.